Well, guys, welcome to the fire table. La mesa de fuego.
Thank you.
La
Thank you.
mesa
Thanks
de
for having us.
fuego. And this is just the place where things heat up, bro. We're gonna talk and thank you guys for coming out. We're being watching you guys, and the whole social media is talking about you guys and all the events and all the accomplishments that you guys make. So first of all, I'm a big fan and I want to support more you guys, and I appreciate that you guys support us too. You guys come to our events and you guys show up, and it's all about, I love when we all give to each other, man. You know what I'm saying, showed up on each other's events. So I have here today, I have to write down their last names, and I have here Sergio Aguilar and Jonathan Araque. Araque, muy bien. Thank you. So my name is Neander Lima, and we're gonna be interviewing these two awesome folks today. Too. Let me start with you, brother. Talk a little bit about your beginnings, man. Like, where are you from, and a little bit about you, John.
Okay, so basically I moved to the States around 6 years ago, and then I'm from Colombia originally, so I got my background there, and then just applied to a job here. That's how I end up in the U.S. And actually the first place where I live, it was Wisconsin. That was a little weird city, but
Go Badgers.
yes, I like to try, something new, right? I never heard about that place, so
Yeah.
why not?
Really, Wisconsin, man. Wisconsin's cold, man.
It is cold.
Colombia is like summer, all year round. So it's such a nice. It's very similar to Brazil, But Wisconsin, my sister lives in there, dude. It's like I promise her that I'm never gonna visit her again in the winter.
Yeah.
What part of
100%.
Wisconsin?
I live Wisconsin Dells.
Wisconsin Dells with the ducks.
Yeah,
I've
with
been
the
there,
ducks,
dude.
touristy
Yeah,
area, yes.
very
Yes,
cool.
So, and that was
Some
a
nice
good
water
market.
parks.
Yeah, a good market.
So you were engineering there?
I was working for like a food chain company.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, because I was working for a food chain in
Yeah.
Colombia, so same thing as an engineer, kind of like, upgrading all the process cost and everything. So that's basically what it was helping me to get the job here. So
Awesome,
all my
man.
background.
And then I want to ask later, how did you end up in Dallas, Texas? Was it through real estate?
Yes, sir. Through my partners. And actually, my Sergio, my partner, he lives here. And everybody, you guys know that Dallas is an amazing market, more opportunities. So at some
100%.
point at Wisconsin, I felt that, I cannot grow that much, that fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hungry, man. So I think that Wisconsin was a little small for me. So I decided to move to a better place.
Look at that. Wisconsin was too small
Yeah,
for
too
him.
small.
Let's go, man. What about you, my brother?
Man, I'm actually born and raised here in Dallas. So I was born and raised in Grand Prairie, Texas.
All right.
So this is my neck of the woods because I have a construction company. So we roam all over the DFW. So
Yeah.
when they sent me the address to this place, I don't know exactly where that's at. But born and raised in Grand Prairie, Texas. I'm a first generation, what I like to say, Mexican American.
Yeah.
My parents were obviously born in Mexico and then migrated, had us here. And a little bit about myself, grew up down the street, went to high school, graduated, and then went to college, graduated with a construction management degree from the University of Texas at Arlington. And I also attended UNT doing construction engineering there, but transferred out to UTA. But, that was my dream. My dream was just take over the family business with my brothers, my sister, and
So your dad had a construction company?
my dad started the company in 2000
Okay.
from scratch, from absolutely nothing. Saved up, saved his money, bought a truck, started buying equipment, started buying a machine, trailers, and we wanted to take this to another level. And that was one of the reasons why I went to college, was to really learn the construction contracts and just to kind of dip my toe in that on the business and the back end of things, office side of things, because another reason was we were getting screwed over
Yeah.
financially.
So let me ask you a question. Because you went to college, you think that really gave you some fundamentals to be a better business owner in the construction side? Because I see all the people that did construction and they went really successful, but you think the college was like, man, that really paved for me?
I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say you do not need to be successful, you don't need to go to college. What college did do to me is it opened up a lot of doors. So I was able to get my foot in a lot of doors, work with a lot of general contractors, and meet contractors while I was on the general contracting side of things that today I'm doing business with as a subcontractor.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the work, and that's what I like to tell people, everybody talks a lot of shit about like, oh, well, college, you know, you're going to be 70,000 in debt, 60,000 in debt. But today I'm happy to sit here and say that the contracts that we've locked in through the people in my network that I've met in college exceeded that by hundreds and thousands already by at this point.
Absolutely. And how did you guys two met?
Yeah, we made a networking event,
Okay.
and that's from one of our mentors, Gran Cardon. So we both went at the same day there, so we kind of connect.
In Florida? You guys were in
Florida.
Yes, I was in Florida. And it was a funny part at the bar. So we
At
met
the
at the bar.
Yeah.
You know, we were like, you know, usually at that point, you know, we were like, I was thinking like, yeah, let's go to the bar, because usually at the bar people are more open. They're more them.
Great connections come
so-
from a bar, man.
Exactly.
Trust me. Like people could, yeah, I love it.
And these
Especially on
actually,
those networking events. And then what happened?
Well, I was at the bar and I'm talking to, you know, this beautiful girl. We're just hanging out. And then I look over to my left and then I see him and our other partner, Tony. And the rest was history. The cool thing about it though is like, you know, you meet a lot of people at these events. They say, well, I do this, I do that. Like we literally were just like, what's up guys? Like, how's everything? You guys doing all right? You know,
Were you living in Dallas at the time? Or not?
No, Wisconsin still.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And then you know, probably expressed interest in Dallas. Were you investing here yet or not yet?
No, actually, that was my first touch into multifamily real estate. So that was the first time where I heard about multifamily. And that was the first time that I invest even $1,000 in myself just to go to that event. So that for me was a big
Likewise.
step at the moment.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity, man. When I see, you know, just going through events, there's the portion that you're going to get the value from the event. But just the fact that you took action and went to an event, doesn't matter what event it is, right? It could be, you know, any other real estate event. There's a few that we can name here. But just the fact that you invested in yourself and the motive, like I'm going to an event to invest in myself, that's huge. And see how many things can possibly happen. I went to an event with Dalia last year that was not about real estate, man. It was about speaking. And with that event, we met a lot of other folks. They ended up even investing in one of my deals. It was not even related to real estate, you know? So, and I think from both of you guys together, because, you know, have the construction, especially on the asset classes that we're buying today, right?
Correct.
Be able to have that construction background and you're more the analytical, I'll say. Is that the mix?
Correct.
That is
you
correct.
nailed it. You nailed it. He's
Just
more
like that.
analytical, and I'm more of the, you know, like he's the visionary, and I'm like that support. Yeah, let's go. Sounds good. Like
Good.
take action. So what are we gonna do to take that action? And that's how we were really able to collaborate and get shit done. To be honest,
So let's step forward now to the day. What are you guys up to?
Oh, man.
What's the days look like? Brag about yourselves, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, one thing before you say that, I remember before we were prepping for this, and I know from me being a Latino, we are raised how to be very humble, how to, don't talk about yourself is rude, you know what I'm saying? But that's, you know, obviously you cannot just come in and be loud, you know, but like brag about yourselves, man. What are you guys today? What are you guys are doing with confidence?
Yeah, and even that's still a mindset that we have for like 15, 20, 25 years about bragging yourself, you know, because again, just coming back to the point about the mindset from our parents is like, just don't talk about what you have because the neighbors are going to start talking about you. So just stay quiet, don't do anything because people are going to judge you, stuff like that. So
You
yeah,
believe in
that's
that?
a good point. Actually not right
Did
now.
you believe in it? Because I did.
I believe
for
at that
the
moment.
longest.
I
For the
did. I
moment.
did for the longest, and
Yeah.
I say that because even when we locked in our first deal as a general partner, that's when I first started speaking about what I was doing, and that's one of the biggest mistakes that I made at raising capital. And you know this is that you ought to be telling people what you're doing 24/7, you know, throughout the week, and if you know the process or something, and which is why we're marketing a lot on social media right now. But we weren't doing that before because I was scared. I was scared to, you know, I don't want to brag. I didn't want family members, cousins sitting there probably thinking that I thought that I was better than everybody
And it hurts. Our feedback from our family and close friends, it hurts.
it does.
And that's why sometimes it takes us from getting some decisions and getting some stuff done. I remember when we start posting it, I got people were making fun of me, making memes, I don't want to like, especially like on the Rio grind, like, something funny, but you cannot look at that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't do that intentionally sometimes. And sometimes even my own mom, my own dad, like they say things to, it's just like your body sometimes, like Jesse Eater said, when you're running, that feeling when you're running and you think you're going to die? That is only 30% all you can actually do. So to actually die, you need another 70%. So only in that 30% where you really think you're done, you're going to have a heart attack, but it's actually your body saving you from not getting hurt. So your mechanism is like, okay, I'm going to tell your body that, you're shutting down for you to shut down not to get hurt. There's the defense mechanisms. And sometimes our friends and family, sometimes they do that for us not to get hurt, and funny way to do it. So it's the whole concept behind that we have to shift and break the mindset, man, because sometimes it stops us from doing stuff.
Yeah, and
kind
of like you were saying. I mean, even at first, like I mean, just to kind of go back, we're shy of 1,000 units. We're closing on a 63 here in Dallas next Friday.
Congratulations!
And I appreciate that.
Let's
and we're
go.
asset managers on that one here in our hometown here, and I haven't even told my parents about this. It's just kind of like it got to the point to where, like you were saying, you can't really, they don't understand. They don't understand, and then when you do tell them, we're like, oh yeah, we're closing, we're buying 63 unit apartment.
My parents still don't understand what I do, man. They don't, and I told them I don't hide. They know, they see the CR videos, they see everything we do, but like it doesn't compute. Probably also because they are not here. They left to Brazil, and when they left 15 years ago, I was in a totally different phase that I'm in today. But it doesn't compute to them. Like, hey, man, we actually own those apartments. There's people living in it, right? So, yeah, it's surreal.
And it's crazy how the mindset can change in just like a couple of years, because right now I feel selfish if I don't share with the people about what we're doing, about all the advantages that we're getting, about all the benefits that we're getting, about how much people we're impacting, So now I just feel selfish if I don't share this with everybody.
What was the biggest lesson you guys got on the capital raising?
As Sergio mentioned earlier, first don't tell everybody that we were buying apartments, because as soon as we got that first deal with a lot of people that we believe that they will be investors, like 90% of them, it was a no, just because it was a surprise for them. It was like, what? You never talked to me about this, and now you're coming to tell me that
now you're raising capital. Now you need money. You're like, wait, what? We just found out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think my biggest mistake, whenever I was trying to capital raise, was, because everybody knows that you can make decent money capital raising, correct? And when you think about the money and how much you can make, I found that wasn't working for me. So whenever I actually started, when I cooled down and I actually started actually trying to educate these individuals and did it with the purpose of presenting them an opportunity to invest and to help them out, is whenever it all just started lining up in my case. So that was one of the biggest mistakes I did with the capital raising at first, personally, along with letting people know last minute,
that's what you do now.
That's what I'm doing now. At first they're like, Sergio, you're a construction guy. What the hell are you doing buying apartments? Now you're buying apartments? Like, saying this isn't real.
Well, my one of the things that we learned as well was very, very close to it. But for me, people already knew what I was doing. But when I was calling people, what was with this scarcity mentality, and I was asking people for money. Like, I'll call them and I'll be, hey, when you invest in this deal, it's going to be great. Would you please invest, man? It's going to be a great deal, right? And then I wasn't getting any tractions. And my mentor said, dude, you got to change. You offer an opportunity. So actually, he put this into perspective. If, let's say that people work all their life, so just a usual American that works and has W-2. And if they had an opportunity to invest and now they're retired more money, and they knew all along that you didn't show them this opportunity, and now they're about to get retired and their 401k, it's down, their stocks are down. So now they have to work 2 more years to make sure that they have their money. And they knew for all this time that he had this opportunity to grow, multiply their money, they're going to be pissed at you.
Yeah.
So if you think about with that perspective of, hey, I'm offered an opportunity, because guess what? All 3 of us here, right? We all capital raisers or syndicators. We're going to work our asses off, not just putting our own money to the deal, but like working our ass off to protect our money, protect the asset, protect our investors, right? So for somebody to put 50K in 3 to 4 years, get double that, that's an opportunity, man. No brainer, right?
It really is.
100%.
I mean, some people they don't even believe it. They're like, wait, what? I'm going to double my money in 3 to 5
there's like, is this a multi-level marketing?
You know, the funny part too is as soon as you mention this, you know, double the money or 20% annual return, you know, usually you get a better response from people when you say 6%, 10%, because they are assuming that 20% as a risk investment.
Yeah.
So they think like, no, this is a scam. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. But we see just that. We see a lot of people that, you know, are proving this concept about syndication or real estate multifamily that we are 100% in. We believe in this 100%.
That was you just brought something up that was another mistake I made. I would go and it's like we're speaking another language to new investors. I scared a lot of them away.
Yeah.
IRR, cash on cash. Now it's just simple. I just kind of get to the point. Look, yeah, you'll make 6 to 8% annually on your investment. You'll double your money 3 to 5 years. Boom. Rather than explaining the average cash on cash, IRR, you know, it confuses them and it really scares them away. It happened to me a lot. I had so many people run whenever you're trying to get all technical.
Absolutely, man. Simplicity is the key. And sometimes, especially when you get to more complicated, when you have you guys heard of the waterfall structure, right?
Correct.
When you guys like preferred returning, the underwriting start being complex. Like you start getting, and you know, as human beings, we are scared of the unknown, right? So whatever you cannot explain in less than a minute, dude, it's not good, right?
Yeah.
So I also say, even to our team here, like to do the rice and beans, right? And just to be like, hey, like you said, this is the returns, total returns, boom, done.
Exactly.
What is the biggest, we're talking about the biggest challenge, but now what is the biggest challenge operating now those units? Because, you know, we talk about acquisitions, but how do you feel that you guys could bring value on the operations now? Let's say we close next Friday, right?
Correct.
What's then? What is the business plan for this 6 to 3 units?
Yes, correct.
What is the business plan?
Yep. So basically, we want to make sure that we have a strong team, right? So as in this case, I have different skills that Sergio. So we want to make sure that we complement each other, right? Like Sergio, for example, he's with his construction background. You know, he just come in and manage the contractors and do this, plan the renovation, stuff like that. Where I just come in paper and do the assumptions with numbers, projections, and, you know, how much we can increase here and increase there, right? So basically, our plan for that 63 units is going to be like 2.3x the money in a period of, you know, 5 years. And we believe that even we can exit quicker than that. But, you know, that's another point that we tell people. We prefer to say even 5 to 7 years because people feel even more confident and believing in the investment when you say that it could take a little longer than if you go and say, yeah, I will do this in a 3-year period.
Under promise, over delivering, man. That's key. You know what I mean? Because right now, and I tell you guys, like, it's being hard to managing those deals in a tight ship. If you not look with the microscope, like no microscope is too detailed, but at least with the magnetic, you have to, you know, and that's how we leverage each other's skills, right? You're more analytical, or you're more, but it goes very both ends.
Correct.
You know, especially now implementing what they do on the road. implementing that on the construction. Construction is a big deal, man.
It is.
Construction is a big deal, and there's not a lot of people that know how to do construction. There's a lot of people that get fooled by contractors, which that's I think is number one. The challenge is,
And that's where I kind of step in, because one of the biggest mistakes you can make is just kind of letting them run over you.
Yep.
And meeting deadlines and doing the renovations right, and that's why with my expertise, and there's another individual that we're working together on that asset, we're very well connected with the contractors that we've already built relationships with. And that, let alone, that's just going to come a long way. We know, I mean, there's a trust. It's not like we're grabbing a chuck in the truck from the street.
And it's something you can look at. It's like, this ain't right.
Yeah.
Right. That's one of the benefits of having a construction background. You can look at things and like, no, shouldn't cost this much when you get proposals, because from a contractor standpoint, when you hear the word commercial in front of it, you're just like, your eyes goes like cling, cling. Money.
Yep.
Just same thing with fucking RVs, guys, like your boats. Everything is boats, RVs, weddings. It just has a different price to it, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. And do you want to ask me anything about construction?
Man, I love, man, we can go all day if you want.
Ask me something. Whatever can bring value to you guys, man. Like I said, this is an open table.
Yeah. I love the way, I've heard you talk about it before, but I like to hear it again. Obviously, as a contractor, we know that buying things in bulk kind of goes a long ways by saving a lot of money. As far as in time, as far as your operations, how is it that, assuming you're buying a 100-unit property, right? You plan to renovate 60% of them, so 60 units, because you want to leave some meat on the bone for the next buyer, correct? So you're renovating 60. And in this case, would you buy your fixtures and all the bulk packages for the 60% right off the bat? Or would you do it in phases?
Good question. So the problem with buying in bulk is where you're going to store it, right? That's number one question. If you had to pay for storage, then you already start adding up. Unless if you get like a very cheap, I have actually, I don't mind sharing with you a little underwriting of, if you're buying in bulk, you plug in the numbers, how much you're buying for the whole inventory with the current expenses a month, how much is start eating your profits, right? Or start eating
storage fees.
And so some properties, for example, our Enclave, we had a clubhouse that was not being used. We stored a lot of stuff there. There's definitely the advantages of buying bulk, and somebody that's going to sell you in bulk, they're going to require you to, buy everything up front. Correct. Unless if you have an arrangement, what you could do is the approach, you be like, look, I'm a syndicator, so what I do, paint the picture of like, I'm buying, for the next 2 years, I'm buying 4 properties. And I know a lot of other syndicators, so I will keep buying from you, right? Another approach is like, I'll pay up front, you store it, and then I just pick what I get, what I want. That could be an arrangement. It all depends, very negotiable. I used 1 year of data that I collected from buying in bulk, and now what I'm doing, that's why we're moving this facility, because I can't expand. So we're about October, maybe November, we're going to have our first container from China.
Wow.
Everything comes direct from manufacturer.
Wow.
Flooring. And I just share with you, like, we're buying, it's less than 50% off. But I have to buy 54,000 square foot of flooring, right? So it's a lot. It's a big investment. It's a big liability too, because I tell you what, I'm just sharing with you, let's say I'm going to buy faucets. What about if I install 100 faucets and they have leaks now? You think about that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So now
100%.
you're on the hook, right? And there's the pros and cons about buying in bulk, right? You'll be able to save a bunch, but you have to be careful how much you buy and what you buy. You have to be conservative too, because you can lose a lot of money too, right? So that's my 2 cents there on buying in bulk.
I like it because I hear that a lot. I mean, you hear people, having storage space, so that's great, but the faucets never came to mind, where You install 120.
Ceiling fans. What about catches on fire? If you buy some cheap ceiling fans, dude, a non-brand thing just because it's cheap, like not necessarily. Look, and then it all comes down to some people want to on the road a very cheap rehab budget, and then you just buy whatever you can get your hands on a very cheap. That can also cause problems because again, we're talking about 100 units, as you said. It's 100 units. Imagine just a little 100 houses. There's family living in there, so they use it every day. The machine, right? They use the ceiling fan. Is that a good quality? Is it going to give me problems and such, right? I did a Riva, the property that we renovated. We underwrote it at $23K per unit for renovation. We're doing at 15, but the fact is, we're giving a lot of very good quality. You cannot overdo it, right? But I'm commanding 38% rent increase because we renovated that way. Quartz countertops, and again, I went to the guy at the corners countertop and say, "Hey, man, look at all my portfolio. This is how much properties I have. You be my preferred vendor. You're gonna give me this price. This is I can't afford, but every countertop that's going on my property is yours." He was like, "Deal, man." Because think if you're a vendor, think if you're a contractor, right? And it's like this guarantee guy is gonna give you business. It's just very valuable.
Volume, man.
And another thing is, and that's a tip for you, I pay all their contractors on a Friday. If they submit their invoice before Wednesday, I think they get paid on that Friday. So we pay them every Friday, and that also creates that relationship with the smaller contractors or vendors. That it's like, man, those guys pays, because what happens is when you get loans that the lender holds your capex money, you have to do lending redraws. That takes time. It takes up to 40 days. So imagine like a guy does a job today, complete 3 units for you, and then he doesn't get paid in 40 days. Like, he's desperate, man. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that you have to figure it out, where they get the lender redraws. And then when the lender redraws, you got to submit that proposal that they completed, and it's a pain in the ass. Okay? So that's why us having a construction company now be able to do this, that we paid every Friday, and then we get reimbursements. But sometimes I'm $500,000 in the hole because all my portfolio, like the contractors finish everything and big tickets and stuff. Then we have all this money. It's like, fuck, man, we're gonna run out of cash. Obviously, we get paid from the lender later. But my point is, you help out. He helps by paying them regularly, because creates just a price, lower price, and that loyalty too.
The loyalty, I love that part. Yeah, so people are with you. They will work quick just to finish those, and this is velocity. Money is right there, right? So just turning those units as quick as possible, because that's an increase in the NOI.
That was really good. I'm starting just. I'm just thinking
right now.
Years, right? And it's offered you guys, but after I buy from we come for our first shipment, we're gonna sell to a few operators at a lower price, lower than anybody else.
So now you're a distributor.
I will be a distributor.
There we go.
Yeah, maximizing. You are reducing your risk. That's how I see that. Because even if you don't use it all,
because like I said,
you are not
stock
sitting
in my warehouse costs money.
Costs you money.
So if I can make a little bit, it's good for you. It's good for me. I have the contacts in China. It's coming in here. I'm paying up front. So if we all can benefit each other.
Exposure to you, new partners coming in because you are impacting their businesses. So that's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, man. We're all about growing together. You know what I'm saying? Some people see on this industry as all competition. I don't see it all, man. There's plenty. And if we all help each other, we grow so much faster, man. So much faster. But the people, they're stuck up in it. That's another thing about our Latino cultures, man. Oh, no, don't share what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't do that stuff. I share everything you want to know. And my dad, he was the one that was like, oh, why you share? When I had my first business, I used to have a home automation business. helped design the Twin Peaks restaurant, Gloria's restaurant. You know, I told you this before. But when I had my own business, then I was training this guy to be under me to do all this computer programming. And my dad, why are you teaching him, man? He's gonna know everything, gonna open his own business. Like, that's great. You know what I mean? Because that way it gives me freedom. And you, by adding value, man, it just gains so much more value. And it is what it is. I don't care. So I had to break that from my own, beliefs that, I got to keep everything as a secret. No, more you give, more you receive.
100%. Yeah, those people, they will be your future partners because they will be really grateful about what you did for them.
Yeah.
That will just come after and say, hey, Neander, I appreciate what you did in my life. So let's see, now I am in a different position. So let's do something together.
Let's go, man. Yes. Talk about your meetups.
Oh, yes. That was a big part. And as soon as I moved to Dallas, I was like all in. So let's start doing this. Let's start doing that. So basically, we start focusing our business in more about giving instead of just building our own wealth. So again, we start feeling selfish. Like there is a lot of networking events that we are going and we're learning things just to for ourselves. Why not to share that with people? So let's create community. Let's show them what we're doing. Let's grow together. Let's impact their lives because they're gonna go and tell all their family and friends. And you're going to be impacting even more people. So as soon as we start doing the meetups, man, we have between like 40, 50 people every single month coming, new people every single month. So actually, we have a...
Do you guys have like a clip or a video or something?
It's just growing more organically, actually.
No, do you have a video, promo video, footage? Let's go ahead and put the video up.
Yeah, we're meeting tomorrow, so we'll get a video. And tomorrow's a full house. Tomorrow's going to be it's going to be a lot of people flying in. And that's a cool thing, man. We got people flying in.
To your event?
Flying into our event.
Oh, shit. Nice.
And even our month, because that's just a monthly meetup community. We call it the DFW Multifamily Meetup.
Yeah.
Just to really network, collaborate. But when we have our actual mastermind, people, I think the first one we had, 99% of the people flew in. We're talking Virginia, New York,
nice.
Just
Seattle,
Florida, Seattle, like all over the U.S. And I was pissed because I was like, man, I'm from fucking Dallas. Like, where are all these people that were reaching out to me and asking me, hey, man, like, I'm interested in what you're doing. I was like, yeah, pull up. It's all about taking action too.
Yeah.
Here's the sign up on the link.
So the mastermind's from you guys?
Yep.
Nice.
We're hosting it.
What's the name of it?
So we call it like MIA.
Yeah.
Like Model Investor
Alliance.
Alliance.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we're partnered up with some other great friends and partners on that. And just collaboration, man. It's collaboration.
Sure.
Partnered up with our good friend Jana, who's been doing coaching and everything for over 20 years. So
I follow her. She's amazing.
It's just like, why go do
I'm
this
trying to
on
get
our
her
own?
to the podcast, man. Jana, if you're looking at this, I'm trying to get you to come to the real grind.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's
awesome.
We had her last night on our
great.
podcast.
That's awesome.
So
do you guys have a podcast too?
We do.
Yes, that's every single week. We have like 31 episodes already.
31 episodes.
Yeah. So again, we start doing the 1-1 podcast. So we have some guests, interview.
Did you guys heard about that 1%? People that do podcasts more than 20 episodes. Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna share that with you. I have to pull it up.
Yeah. So no, that was great.
Can we put a link to your podcast here in the,
of course,
the chat?
Yeah. 1%. Never heard it.
Now I'm excited now.
Look at this. So 90% of podcasts don't get past episode number 3. 90%. That's 1.8 million people that quit. Okay. Now, of the 200,000 left, 90% will quit after the 20th episode. That's another 180,000 gone. To be in the first 1% of podcasts in the world, 1%, you only need to publish 21 episodes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
That's
awesome.
That's good to hear, man. And the thing is when he moved in December, we were sitting down. We're like, what are we going to do? We're sitting like this, like, John, what are we going to do? You're in Dallas now, right? We got to do something different. Now it's time to take some serious action. So one of the non-negotiables that we had this year was we were going to be consistent. We didn't care if one person showed up. We don't care if 100 or 1,000 showed up, but we were going to do it every single Tuesday, no matter what. So that was our non-negotiable to me and to ourselves, is that we're going to post. And I mean, by the time you know, now we're at what, 30, you said 30?
31 episodes.
31, and now
You're the 1% out.
Hearing about that statistic is just kind of crazy.
It's good, right? But it's consistency. You're right. You know, look at the results. You guys have people flying in from other cities, and you guys are capital raising, and you gotta do it, man.
Yeah,
it's hard, especially. Sorry,
no, you're good.
Like,
that's a quick story right there that I want to tell about this. You know, so that was like a year and a half ago. Pretty much, I was in Wisconsin back at the time, and then actually I flew in to one event just for a couple hours, just to network with people, and then coming from the results that and the lessons that we got from that moment is actually we're partners with the people now in the meetups, just by me taking the decision and telling Sergio, let's go there, tell my other partner, let's go there. So let's meet these individuals, because we need people like them in our lives. So when the people hear that story, and then right now for them it's like, okay, Jonathan, they flew in, so I'll do the same, because he was all in, so he was taking the risk. Why not? I want to be at the position that, because we're like an example for them right now, impacting their lives, like motivating them to keep going. So there are people that are flying in, and we love that. They're action takers. That's how we say that.
Getting out of the comfort zone, man. Going and doing it. That's amazing, dude. That's great. How can I be in your podcast, man? I want to be a guest.
No,
Let's
we're
lock you
already
in.
scheduling.
Let's lock you in.
It was like, that would be great. I love it.
That's gonna be
I think
good.
you'll have a lot of. It's really fun. It's kind of like this. It's just kind of, we're relaxed. There's no script. It's like let's have a conversation. And people are like, well, you mean a Zoom meeting? I was like, no, it's a podcast, because although we're not all physically there, I mean, it will go online and on Spotify. So everybody would get to look it up and listen to the recording. Or if you're more of a visual guy like me, you can go to YouTube, and then the recording's on there where everybody's there, hanging out, asking questions, and having fun. So,
yeah, I'd love to go, man, if I can add value to,
of course,
to you guys.
100%.
Definitely.
That will be a great episode.
Yeah, let's go. Let me ask you a question. What would it be 5 years from now? Where are you guys going to be?
I have really big goals. Like I try to put myself out of my comfort zone every time. So how I see myself in 5 years, it will be already impacting communities.
Mm-hmm.
So as I told you earlier, in Colombia originally from, so I want to be already building villages, because that was one of my dreams that I have for a long time. So by that time, I will be in a much better economic situation where I can just take that extra money that I'm making from my businesses and then just impact in a bigger scale. Yes, that's how I see myself.
Amazing, dude. What about you?
A little similar to what Jonathan's got. I just kind of, I'm huge on education, because I went to college. I'm a first generation Mexican American, as I said. I'm the first one in my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree, which was something huge for my parents. And none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for them crossing the border, risking their lives, and then coming here and giving us a better life, an opportunity. So, that's one of the first things a Mexican say, is just say, hey, go to school, get an education, get an education, take advantage of the system here in the U.S. And, I'm very passionate about college and education. So I want to go back to where I'm from in Mexico, where my family's from, and help kids pursue their dreams, whether it's the lack of supplies or schooling, or maybe even building a school where my city's from, because a lot of the kids, I don't know why they got to pay. They got to pay to go to school from pre-K to 12th grade. So maybe if I create some type of funding for them to do it for free, so that money wouldn't stop them from from getting an education, and that's what I want to do for now. And I only say that too is because my dad does not have more than a first grade education. My mom doesn't have more than a fifth grade education. And why was it? Because they had to go work, so help support the family. So I'd love to help out some kids and let them chase their dreams of wanting to become lawyers, engineers, doctors, whatever it is that they want to be. So that's what I really want to do.
Let's go, man.
I love your question. Do you know why?
Why?
Because I remember that it was probably like a year ago, something like little ish. So we put a challenge, inside ourselves, like, okay, we want to be at 1,000 units in 1 year. And basically because I was really committed, because actually that was after I signed my first big check for a mentorship. That was it was like $35K just for education. So I just, make somebody record a video about myself and then saying that, okay, guys, I just signed for this mentorship. I'm committed to be at 1,000 units from 1 year from now. And then I sent that video to like a WhatsApp group where over 100 of people in there just seen my video. So now by you asking me that question, how I'm going to be myself in 5 years, I'm committed to do that in front of everybody here. So,
okay, can we play that video here in the show?
Yeah.
The 1 year ago?
I will look for that, but
send it to us. Send it to our production.
Cool.
We're going to put it.
I will look for the video.
All right, here we are with Jonathan and Tony and Jana, and we want to know what your goals are for the next 6 months.
Yeah, our goal as a team for the next 6 months is going to be LP in a 500 units deal, at least 500 doors as an LP,
and GPs on 200 units
so I know that we're going to accomplish that in 6 months.
in 6
Perfect.
months.
And Jana, how about you?
So we want to be in 4 different LPs, and we want to be at least in 1 GP in the next 6 months. Those are our goals.
Excellent.
I remember when you started.
Yes.
I remember. And here you are, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Love that.
just to kind of add to that, man, this guy's my partner. Talk about the importance of like hanging around and surround yourself with people, like-minded individuals. I was scared shitless. I ain't gonna lie to you. We said it. We kind of took a vote. We're like, look, we kind of blood brothered it. We're gonna get 1,000 units in a year. And I'm like, holy shit, all right, just let me cut now and figure it out later. How was it that we're gonna do this? And I was nervous. I was nervous because of the lack of confidence at the time, education. You all got to start somewhere. But just the importance of hanging out with people who are actually trying to get there also, and partnering up with these individuals, and just believing in yourself,
100%.
believing in him, and vice versa. Man, that looking back now, it's crazy. It is possible, as long as you got to put in the work too.
Now I want to hear you guys talked about, both of you, which is awesome, the passion and the 5 years from now. Now I want to hear business-wise. What is the 5-year goal? But I want you to talk like you're already there. I have so many units, my business, this and that, like present tense in the future.
Yeah. So, and actually that's something that we put in our mission statement.
We did do that.
So we did that for our company. And then, so basically by 2028, because that's actually the goal in our mission statement, we will
Which is today. We just went back on time, so it's today now. What
yes,
you have
today. So we're already operating as a lead sponsor, over 5,000 units.
Yay!
So
Let's go.
So that's how we know that we're gonna be there. We're pretty confident. So that's us today.
You're already there.
Yes.
We're already there, and we already have over 2,000 units under asset management in Dallas-Fort Worth. So.
Yes. Let's go.
It's impacting those communities too, man.
It is.
Like I haven't talked much about it, but I think over the years, you guys getting more involved in asset management, you see victories and challenges that goes inside the properties. Like we found there's been shootings, there being transformations, there's been great people, and there'll be bad people. You know what I mean? And you start getting in touch with that, and you see that. I know that we all have a passion to go out like you both of you said. I want to go out back where I came from, Colombia. But there's a work needs to be done here too for some of those communities, man. You start seeing this more and more, and that is going to give a very good sense of fulfillment to you guys as well. I'm not saying that you're going to stop your dreams. That's your dreams. But like I'm saying, we operators and our apartment investors, we have a huge responsibility of also taking care of the community. Because if you guys have 1,000 units now?
That is correct.
Yeah. So that's probably about 2,000 families or more people that live in there.
Exactly.
About, man, probably more or less.
Yeah.
Some people had three or four people inside of one unit, so the volume and people. So you guys are basically passively responsible for, that community. So that's just my piece of advice. Don't forget that.
I like that you said that because, the property we're closing next week, we actually went to the due diligence process. We were walking each unit. I personally was walking each unit. And I saw a lot of things, man, that brought back some memories when I was growing up. I saw a lot of mattresses in living rooms. I saw a lot of, just not so well units. And I remember it's just kind of like, you don't remember where you came from, but you remember, like I had a flashback. I got the chills on my back when I started seeing the mattress in the living room because I slept in the mattress in the living room until I was like 15 or 16. So I had forgot about it because I'm a lot older now, but it just brought back some flashbacks. Like, man, we're going to fix these units up. We're going to fix these stairs that I got to skip over 2 steps because it's broken. And that made me feel a lot more better. Like, man, you know what? We're doing the right thing. We're doing the right thing, and I'm excited. And just like you said, you're impacting communities in a positive way, and we're going to better these people's living environments. And it's not only that, but it's also my people, man. It's our people.
Yeah.
90% of the people in that complex are Latinos. So that makes it even more personal to me. And it makes me want to give him all even more. And we're ready to close and we're ready to get to work.
Let's go, man. We're super happy for you guys.
And even closing these properties, knowing that we're actually impacting people's lives, it makes us more happy even that get those acquisition fees and stuff like that, right? But that makes me more happy to close those complexes. Absolutely. Because now we can take over the plan and just let's go.
Execute.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I appreciate the talk today. It was great.
Awesome.
And knowing that my team is here, any piece of advice, anything I could add value to you guys, please don't hesitate, man.
Of course. I would like to share actually one more story. That's okay too.
What?
One more story. If that's okay. Yeah,
of course.
When we started, I was thinking, okay, I want to impact my community back in Colombia, right? And I was thinking, okay, how long is gonna be taking me to be able to start impacting people like down there? And so I was thinking, okay, it could take me like 10, 15 years, but that for me was really a long time. Mm-hmm. So it should be a better way. It should be a better way to start impacting people, right? So we start closing apartments, and actually we know from our culture, the Latin culture, so we have all the crazy equity sitting in the homes down there, like not being used. It's crazy, So I was thinking, okay, why not to start targeting that market as well? Because US is a much better market for investment. Sure. Just to comparing the interest rates down there. Like my mom just sent me like a bank statement the other day. She got a loan and she's paying like a 40% a year for that loan.
40%?
40%, yeah. So that's crazy. So this is actually something that people are living day to day, just whatever they pay, just going in interest like crazy. So they never finish paying loans, basically. So, but again, all this equity sitting in the houses doing anything. And then we started speaking with lawyers, with the SEC lawyers, to try to figure out how we can start helping people to invest here in the US. And, it was not easy. I'm not going to say it was hard because I don't like to use the word hard. I like to say not easy, but challenging. Oh my gosh. But it was a lot of lessons learned. And as today with this closing, we already have over 100 investors, overseas, outside the country, just
Wow,
coming investing in
congratulations,
in
dude.
the United States. Yeah.
Fucking awesome, man. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Like, providing the stuff. And we started talking to that, but like, I would love to pick your brain on that, because in Brazil, same thing. There's a lot of people, and like, we just have, Ethel and I had a few conversations with lawyers and tax implications and all that shit. And I was like, I don't have time for this.
It's
I was a little bit of asshole about it. I was like, you know what I mean? If you're not bringing $1 million here, I don't want to talk to you. I was an asshole about it. But like, hearing you say that, man, it's just like, it's just about helping others too, right? Like, people doing investing overseas, oh my God, so more advantageous, because the currency in Brazil is like 5-1 about. I don't know in Colombia, but it's 5-1. It's so I would love to pick your brain on it, see your experience, because we are also would love to expand that opportunity to Brazil. And it was just right now, it just feels like it's a huge mountain to climb. It's challenging.
Yeah, it is.
It's not hard.
It's
Challenging.
Yeah, but we're able to do it. It took a lot of time, like seriously, to try to figure out, but it's totally worth it. I know these people are just sending us messages like, hey, thank you, because even the first time that we figured it out, just by exchange rate, the currencies, these people already make like 30% return on their money, like in 2 months, just by the exchange of the currency.
Just exchanging it into the States.
Exactly. So, Jonathan, how much do you know about coffee?
About coffee. I love coffee, and I mean, in Colombia, we're kind of popular for coffee. But as soon as I try this, oh my gosh, I love this.
I'm going to Colombia in September, and I'm trying to get Italo to come with me, but he's being difficult. But I want to find a good coffee farm that I can go, and also, I don't know if you're gonna be there or not, but if I wanted to take the real grind and interview a few folks out there, a few investors or somebody that invested here, or just to get a perspective. First going to the farms and get the coffee, but also talk about what is the investment looks like in Colombia and stuff like that. Probably 2 or 3 episodes. So I'd love to partner with you on that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we have an area, like a region, just about coffee. So yeah, I think I know some people there. So yeah, let's figure something out.
All right. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
You guys enjoyed it. They're my company.
Oh, man.
But
that was awesome.
I got some value from you guys and the perspective, and see you guys on fire, so motivated, seeing all your everything you guys are doing, and I'm very proud of you, man. And I feel like I'm a big fan. So keep doing what you guys are doing, man. Anything I could add value, again, my team, and we're here for each other.
Appreciate the love, man. I've always enjoyed, just hanging out and supporting, and means a lot coming for you that, you're a fan, and as we're a fan of you guys also. So the feeling's mutual, man. So just thank you so much for having us out.
Yes, thank you.
Let's go.
Awesome.
This is the fire table. El fuego.
Fuego.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
That was awesome.